If you like bike culture and motorcycles and you fantasize about being in a motorcycle gang, this film is going to let you live in that world and soak in that atmosphere for the duration of the film, but I did not find it as compelling as I imagine others will. Jodie Comer plays the girlfriend of Benny in the film, who's played by Austin Butler. Benny, of course, is in the motorcycle gang, and there's this narrative device where she's being interviewed throughout the film, and it kind of revisits what has happened within the biker gang over the film. And for me, it just takes all the urgency out of it. It takes the drama out of it. It feels like we're visiting the past when really we want to be living in the moment. And it's an interesting take and it's an interesting way to do it, but I just didn't feel like it really served the story in that way. I would have been happy if it would have come more maybe in the middle or at the end of the film, but the way it's done here, it just didn't do it for me. And so for me, it just takes a lot of the interesting stuff out of the first hour of the film. And while the film does pick up towards the end, I just did not like this choice of using the narrator, even though Jodie Comer does a good job of being the narrator. We've got a lot of good actors here, but could we get Tom Hardy a different accent? I feel like he has to have some weird voice in every film, and in this film, for me, it just didn't work. We've got a lot of good actors here. Jodie Comer's a great actress, Austin Butler, Norman Reedus, but I just could not understand Tom Hardy's accent. It didn't work for me. It was comical. It pulled me out of the film. So the Bikeriders is loosely based on real people, but the film is based on a book which is fictional, and for me, there's a lot of world building which works, which is great, but the plot just doesn't have a central drive, and for me, that kept it uninteresting for at least the first half. And you know, maybe other people won't mind that you're just kind of reveling in the world and seeing how the characters interact. But for me, I always need that plot, moving it forward. What's happening? Who wants what? What's next? And this movie does not have that in the beginning. And so it gets off to a bit of a slow start for me. And so I would have rather seen a more plot-driven movie because everything else about it is so great. And so that's why for me, it's a little bit of a letdown. Where this film succeeds for me is in its tone. It's in its semi-realistic, grounded nature. It really gets the inner workings of the biker gang and the atmosphere right, but the plot just isn't as strong as I would hope that it would be. And so that's where it's kind of a bit of a letdown. But in terms of overall tone, look, atmosphere, everything else about it is quite strong. If you like motorcycles and you like the idea of being in a biker gang, I think this film is going to deliver for you. But if you don't, I don't think the film is strong enough on its own, and I think you're going to find a lot more enjoyment in other films and spending your time elsewhere. Please like and subscribe if you want to join me on the show in future videos to talk about the latest movies, because I'll be inviting audience members on the show to talk about the movies with me.